Alright everyone, here we go on to the third part of violence, which is home to what we call... Yes, he says to the deity. So this is basically the part of violence against the divine, towards God. And so this is also nicknamed the Burning Sands. So this is a location that you do not want to offend God by any means. Alright, by any means in the world. So yeah, if you're kind of like, oh yeah, no, I don't believe in God, or I kill in the name of God, or whatever, or whatever it may be, you're here. Now, obviously this kind of falling rain that's coming down and everything, that's supposed to be brimstone falling from the sky. Yeah, that's brimstone. So I know probably on harder difficulties, if you're gonna get burned by it, but on the lower ones you don't have to worry about it so much. But obviously weaving in, it's definitely key. Hey, look, another guy from Florence, and he's actually my teacher, so you know what? I'm gonna absolve you, dude. And there is a trophy when you absolve someone that you know, and you can look it up and find out what it is, so you know, okay, that's the person I need to resolve and protect. And here we go, another heretic, easy to destroy because and obviously we have the burning minions, and you actually see their sword flames too. It's pretty interesting. But yeah, violence towards the divine, towards God, that's like, no, that's like truly an ultimate sin. You're wondering why this is not in its own category, but it is violence towards God. By anything that is godly almost is basically an offense. So let's take an example. Let's take an example. The movie Troy, for example. The Greeks destroyed the temple of Apollo, which was a bad offense. Now here, obviously, you got two decisions you got to make. You jump over here.
Feel contempt for my plea.
Basically, you come here. You can resolve or punish that cursed soul, and you can proceed forward, moving forward, or you can do what I'm going to do here, which is basically hug the left shoulder so I can get around it carefully and come back up here and get the soul fountain, which has another Judas coin. Cool. But yeah, like I said with the Troy, they burned. At least in the movie we saw, you see it. It's like they tear down Apollo's statue or so forth. That would be this in the same sense, because you're doing something against the gods. Of course, being this monotheist religion, so it'd be one god, and you saw both there, and it's supposed to, yeah, represent basically what happened when Dante did at the beginning of this game at Acreage against the prisoners. And yeah, well, how are you fighting against Francisco? So yeah, yeah, not cool and everything, but yeah, yeah, you get credit. The comic design for this game was pretty cool. And here we have a new type of enemy we have is the Cursed Crusader. Yes, your fallen brothers in arms are now your enemies, and they have upside down cross shields, which in real life it would be inverted, be the cross, and they'll fall from the sky. So in a sense, you can say these are kind of like zombies, in quite a sense, and they are quite resistant towards the cross moves. However, obviously, you see 2 strikes of that cross slam move, and they're dead. So it's a quick and efficient way to deal with them. Now there is a more advanced version of it, and it's called the Cursed Captain, and they actually have a flaming shield once they activate, which means they're a little bit more immune to the cross-based moves. Which, of course, obviously that's going to mean you're going to have to do a little bit more attacking in order to defeat them. But here, obviously, we can't cross the fledge upon through that means, so we're going to have to jump up here, deal with these stupid gnats again. Make sure they're all dead. Break open another soul fountain, my souls. You hop over to the left if you want that cursed or that relic demon's prized possession, so that'd be cool and everything. And we have another one. And we just keep running, and we come to this part here. Now this part right here is very, you have the place just right. If you don't, it could bite you in the ass and be a pain in the ass. Now, obviously, I accidentally used my righteous path to deal with those minions, and then I accidentally hit martyred them like a complete noob I am on that part. But it's just, alright, just, you know, put on. Now, I'm just going to push on forward, and definitely one technique you can do is use the Suicide Fruit to basically divine, or even I think Lost Storm can work here. But I personally like to say I love the Divine Arm because one, it heals me, it gives me some bit of protection against the demons or all the minions, and basically it makes them weak. And I just basically use Martyrdom to basically kill everything that's in the area or really seriously wound them, and basically push our way to the back. And if you don't move fast enough, that thing will roll back down. So that's what you have to be healing your turns, and obviously just hop, get over these guys, and say, see you later, douchebags. So yeah, I'm gonna move here. Yeah, I don't understand this one says like, get out of that throat, you can't breathe, and then going, you're so hard when you breathe and stuff like that. Whatever. And here we go, do another talk with Virgil after I open this mana fountain here, and he's gonna explain like, yeah, it's like, here we have the Pledron, which is the third, because the first two are Akron and Styx, so it's the third one in line. And actually, he will go over the story of how it's supposed these great rivers came to be. So it's actually quite impressive that it's like, yeah, gold, silver, ivory, bronze, and clay, and everything. So it's like, wow, because I believe the story of in Athens at the Parthenon, which was the temple of Athena, the guardian god of Athens, actually what it's named after. Supposedly she was clad in the whole body was ivory, and like the breastplates and certain ornaments, like especially her helmet, were like bronze, like very beautiful bronze. I think there's a little bit of gold inlay with them, or silver jewels. So it was supposed to be very beautiful, but something happened and it disappeared. Probably was destroyed or whatever. And supposedly the same thing happened with the statue of Zeus at the Temple of Zeus, which is near Delphi, which I mentioned about with Flagellus. And now we're going to jump down here onto this platform, and we're going to initiate our next boss, which, like I said, there weren't any guardians here besides those centaurs, but here we got our boss, which is Francesco. Yeah. And it's kind of amazing how he's like, you know, a giant. So, yeah. Yeah, it's like, It's kind of funny how he gets like kind of weird accent, even though he's supposed to be Italian. So, with Francesco fighting, he is a bit of a pain to deal with, but if you play it right, you can deal with him. And obviously, quick attacks, holy magic does not do much damage, so you're really gonna have to use some moves really against him. And he does use that shield locked. That shield he's got. And obviously, he calls forth the Crusaders, as well as right there you see the Flame Shield one. And actually, these are all cursed captains, to be more precise, because obviously the Flame Shield. But obviously, they're weak against holy magic, so this plays smartly going against Francesco. And Francesco basically is, you're just defeating a very prime zone. Obviously, we beam down to 0. You got a quick time event here. Basically, pull out the sword, and the battle is over. Actually, he does launch swords at you. You can launch it back on, but here, yeah, he comes to his senses, and he asks, he says like, our deeds were done in the name of the Lord of God, everything. And I'm like, no.
Murder is only in the name of the murderer.
Yeah, Dante just put it perfectly right there. Murder is in the name of the murderer, not in the name of God. So basically, a lot of people would say that the Crusades were basically a murderous campaign. It was not in the name of God. If you were Christian or Islamic, you were basically, committing murder, not doing something for the God. And obviously, we resolve him because he was a noble warrior fighting for Christianity, so he deserves to be absolved. So, obviously here. And you actually do get the relic known as Francesco's Forgiveness, which is an excellent relic to have because it's a defensive relic. And here we got Giron's back. Giron is supposed to be the, you can kind of say, the ferryman in a sense, from violence into fraud when we're going down. So, it's going to be Giron's pretty cool, and supposedly he's supposed to look like somewhat of a humanoid dragon in the sense he's like he's scaly and so forth. It's kind of unique. Now, like I said, we're going into Fraud. Now, Fraud is the 8th circle of the Inferno. It's got many rings within it called Malleables. However, I will not be doing a video on that, and I may have mentioned that before, but the reason is because the modules are very, very self-explanatory, and if you're really having some troubles on certain aspects, I can do little videos on like, each of the little parts, but fraud is basically simple for it. And of course, obviously the fraudulent is, like I said, they have multiple wings within them that basically represent themselves. Like here, it's those who falsely are prophets or politicians or thieves or whatever. You know, that's what they are. So, and here we are at fraud. We're coming down onto it, and boom, here we are, and we're at the 8th circle of the Infernal fraud. So in the next video that you will see, which will be on the 9th and final circle of the Inferno, which is going to be one of the best to see. So I'll see you all on the next video.